Now, as we've heard, the Cheltenham and Gloucester is to go from our high streets. And Dave Harvey is in Gloucester, and we're going to go straight to him now. Good evening, Dave.
Good evening, Alex. As you say, you join us live here on Eastgate Street in the middle of Gloucester. This place has been a buzz today with the news that one of our most famous names will disappear forever from our high streets. Now, the Cheltenham and Gloucester is quite simply set to go. Their parent company, Lloyds, announced it will close all 164 branches and cut over 1,600 jobs from the Cheltenham and Gloucester and from other parts of the Lloyds business. The name has been part of the West's business landscape for 150 years. Now, if you want to know why, it's quite simple. Just take a walk with me down Eastgate Street, and just a couple of stores up from here by the Cheltenham and Gloucester, there it is, the black horse that says Lloyds. Now, of course, that's just 2 stores up the road. And if you go across the cross to Westgate Street, what do you see? A Halifax. And for the accountants now trying to find £1.5 billion worth of savings in this huge Lloyds superbank, well, all these branches are just too much, and they are to soon become history. In the glory days, the C&G was the big money around here, sponsoring the cricket, showing the world a sophisticated vision of West Country business. Today it's all change as Lloyds brings down the curtain on 150 years of Gloucestershire banking.
The people who get, like that Fred Goodwin getting £16 million or whatever it is a year in interest of pension, when there's all these people working out here trying to get their jobs sorted out and that sort of stuff, for the redundancies and everything else, I just think it's appalling what they've done to the country.
The brand is a really strong one. It's untainted by what's gone on in the banking world over the course of the last 18 months. It's got a great reputation, a very loyal following of borrowers and savers, locally but nationally as well. And so it will be a great shame to see that brand disappear from our high streets.
While it's definitely a shock to see the C&G disappear from the nation's high street, this is the heart of the Cheltenham and Gloucester in the West Country. Over 1,000 people work here at their Barnwood HQ on the outskirts of Gloucester. Tonight, Lloyds Bank is telling them their jobs are safe, and for now at least, the union believes them.
The bank have said that they're going to maintain a presence at Barnwood. At this stage, we're not sure what that presence is going to be. They've said that they're going to reduce the number of strategic sites they have for mortgage processing from 26. But as I said, they're going to say they're maintaining a presence at Barnwood. What the future of that looks like, we don't know.
But with so many banking brands now under the Lloyds umbrella, does the C&G really have a future at all?
It could continue as a separate brand even if it's no longer present on the high street. I mean, it's a strong, respected brand, it's trusted, it's been around for over 100 years, so there'd be very little sense in just dissipating that brand and the strengths and attachments that people have to it simply for the sake of some immediate efficiency gains.
So what about you? Will you mourn the loss of the Cheltenham and Gloucester? Isabel Webster has been looking back at a financial brand that has its roots very firmly in West Country soil.
Started locally in Cheltenham over 150 years ago, C&G began its life as a building society for West Country people. In 1896, the first Gloucester branch was opened. Today, there are more than 160 branches all over the country. All will now close.
I think generations of people probably went to the C&G. You'd get the fathers, the grandfathers had been there, and so then the younger people would come along and they would go simply because they knew it was somewhere that they could trust. Their parents had been there, they'd got their finances, their mortgage from there.
In the 60s, C&G grew as it bought up smaller but still local building societies like Yeovil and South Somerset. In the 80s, they began an aggressive acquisition campaign, taking over the building societies in Peckham, Walthamstow, Bedford, Portsmouth and beyond.
Have you ever noticed how the rich take...
But their adverts sold the concept nationally of traditional West Country banking. To this day, people here felt affection for C&G as their local building society.
Identity means a lot. I'm local and went with the C&G because probably that was in its name.
It's synonymous, isn't it, with Gloucester, always has been, and it sort of twinned the two towns together.
Its success was reflected in branding. Gloucestershire cricketers became very good at winning the trophy that bore its name, and local rugby stars wore shirts with C&G emblazoned across their chests. But along came financial meltdown, and keeping so many branches now seemed unviable. It's likely that C&G will live on as a brand for Lloyds on mortgages and savings, but it's a sad day for a name reflecting the West Country and so many years of heritage. Isabel Webster, BBC Points West.
So just to recap, if you have money here in a mortgage or in savings policies, the bank insists there's absolutely nothing to worry about. The policies will continue, and even if the C&G brand was wrapped up, they would continue under the Lloyds umbrella. For people working here, well, the people in the branches have been given their orders, I'm afraid. By November the 6th, all branches will close. They'll try to redeploy within other branches of the Lloyds Group, if at all they can. Really, the most uncertainty hangs, though, over those people just up the road at Barnwood, the 1,200 staff who actually keep this mighty building society on the road, the Cheltenham and Gloucester mortgages and savings business. At the moment, they're safe. Let's hope it stays that way.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Dave. Other news now, and the